Good day. It's Kelsey Strikes Back Day. She's filed one hell of a bomb in the courts. Granted, it's family court, but she has a lot of accusations and allegations against former fiance and baby daddy. She also brought some evidence to go along with it. But primarily, she's saying douchebag over here has a drug problem, as in illegal drugs and stealing legal drugs. But it seems almost like anything that can do, will do, that's available. He has been known, or is known to, get medicine that is usually for ADHD and or sometimes for depression. It's basically an amphetamine, which you're supposed to still take orally, but he still insists on grinding it up and snorting it. His form of speed or coke. I don't know, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But douchebag over here don't seem so bright. Maybe that's why he was in the Marines. Anyhow, he also has his cousin show up about 5 times a year, and they go through whatever drugs they manage to score. They kind of have a drug party. And the cousin is in the Air Force. But the 5 times a year is the window in time that she can, I think it's a she cousin, do the drugs and bypass, the drug testing for being in the Air Force. So there's a window of time, and that's when it comes up, she takes it. Which I have a funny feeling, since he was in the Marines and his brother was apparently in the Army, I have a funny feeling this isn't new. I think this is a family thing. That they probably knew the guy in the Marines, the baby daddy and his brother supposed to be in the Army. I have a funny feeling they're probably doing drugs the whole time they were there too. Either that or the cousin learned something they didn't. I have no idea. But she even made accusations that he even does LSD, for crying out loud. Plus, he stored it in the refrigerator or freezer. You don't need to store LSD in a refrigerator or a freezer. I mean, for crying out loud, they put it on stamps and dots that you lick and woo. They aren't refrigerated. But I guess that's old-fashioned these days. I have no idea. But he's also, as if this isn't enough, loves to drink and pretty much drinks anything and everything he gets his hands on. But he's gotten so drunk that I think she said she filmed him or having fallen down in the shower and then fallen down the stairs because he was so damn drunk. He often shows up to work with the shakes, trying to withdraw, so he raids the works cooking wine to take the shakes out. And I have a funny feeling that Firehouse is also probably short of vanilla extract, too. This guy has several times shown up to work in conditions not acceptable. And as I probably alluded to, and you probably know about before, he's a first responder. He's a fireman and a paramedic. Great, he's near drugs being a paramedic. How apropos. But anyhow, being a fireman and, a paramedic or, first aid, anyhow, you're not allowed to take. It don't matter what the state rules are. Whether it's illegal in your state, legal for medical prescription in your state, or illegal all the way around in your state. Don't matter. Firemen are not allowed to do it because they're first responders. They need to be coherent to go. Now, granted, when you get off shift and you go and have some booze, they turn a blind eye to that. But generally, showing up to work with the shakes, you want this guy? You want this guy showing up to your house or whatever your emergency is. Yeah, he's probably using a fire hose in the wrong direction. Anyhow, part of the evidence, which is great, I just used single frames here, which I captured off a video, which wasn't Turtle Boy. Gator Boy has the footage on, so I'll give him credit because that's where I got it from. It's Gator Boy. Turtle Boy is a different case. Sorry, he's Gator Boy, so that's where I got these. But these are single frames from video. This is from the security camera in Kelsey's house. And this is a little side house. So here's the wall of the house, and here's a little side, like a little shack, like a little mud room. And he goes in and puffs away and shoves his head out the window to exhale. Like, she'll never know. But, here's he doing, I think this is like at 8 in the morning. Here's him doing it again late at night and still blowing, taking his puffs off of a pipe. He smokes his, he does the pipe. You can't see well enough whether he's lighting from the top, which is kind of, more likely like pot, or if he's lighting it from the bottom, which is going to be more like he's doing, crack or other. So if he's lighting on the bottom, that's not good. That's melting shit. If he's lighting from the top, it's just trying to get it lit like a cigar, or a pipe, rather, which is what it is. But anyhow, this dude does not have brains. He does not have any brains. I mean, he's even times when it looks like he's even looking up at the camera while he's in there secretly puffing away, which she didn't, well, she said she didn't know about, that he was doing this. But she found lots of footage on the security cameras of douchebag blowing away, sucking away, whatever you want to call it. That's going to look real good. Also, he at least had some brains, or someone tipped him off, not to use cash when he buys his pot, which he frequently goes to a pot shop to buy. So he doesn't use his Venmo card, even though he has, when he in a pinch, when he really needed it. Apparently, he made a couple transactions with his Venmo. But for the most part, he intentionally goes to an ATM to get enough cash to go there and get. Or he borrows cash, because she has them. He frequently doesn't, probably because it's, went into drugs, which is, a common denominator. People who don't have a lot of money all the time. Some people who don't have a lot of people have, people have jobs and they're active, but you're always broke. But they're doing drugs. There's probably a good reason why they're always broke. It's going up their nose or whatever. Anyhow. Again, this guy's a first responder. And he wants to be in charge of a baby? The dude is a baby. I mean, he still lives with Ma and Pa. And he's the one who's filing to get the house from her. Or, more to the point, make her sell the house so he can get the cash. Along with all the other cash and the 55-inch TV that apparently he looted from her house, which we put in a previous video. And remember, folks, he's a first responder. He's a fireman. Or hopefully he was. With this stuff coming out, he's probably going to have an internal affairs look. Look at his finances, do a hair follicle test on this dude, whatever, but boom, kick him out. He should be the one in jail doing time waiting for court, not Kelsey. But anyhow, maybe tides will turn, as they should. Oh, and by the way, this appears a QR code, of course. It goes to a Kelsey Fitzsimmons support fund for her legal cases that are definitely coming up. So I have nothing to do with this. This goes straight to a Kelsey Fitzsimmons support fund. So that's not me. That's goes straight to them. This is my input over here. Cancer. Which I stole this from a F Cancer web page or society that has that logo. So if they get mad at me using it, guys, I took it from you. I admit to it. I use it because I'm a cancer survivor too and a cancer fighter. So I mean, I don't think they'd mind too much. I borrow things. Anyhow, with this guy, if he's still on the fire department, depending on what the shifts the fire departments have. Often it's like, 4 on, 3 off, and they're like 24-hour shifts or something like that, depending on how many. The schedule of a fireman is interesting. You really have to look at it and see that, when they're on and when they're off and how many days and how many off. And then if it's overtime, because someone's shorter, it's. If you haven't ever seen a schedule of a fire department, what shift and what hours and what days they're working, you should. It's a mess. Pretty much all you do is like go to yours and memorize what you're supposed to do, which he probably can't do. But again, he wants custody of the kid, the child, which of course he doesn't ever use in his legal language or when he's talking to anybody. He never refers to it as my son or by the child's name. It's always the kid or the baby, and never uses it as his or mine. It's the kid, the baby. So, real good parenting there. So the odds are, if he does and has, custody of the kid, the child, his child, it's probably his mom is taking care of the child, not him. So how the hell is he going to get custody of a child when, one, he's off his ass on drugs most of the time, and if he's not off his ass on drugs, he's at the fire department probably recuperating, going through withdrawals because he has to be sober for 24 hours a day for X number of days, which probably drives him absolutely batshit the first 2 days. But yeah, he's going to have custody of the kid, which is, he has nothing to do with it, essentially, other than collect money for child support, which he's going to, obviously filed for to get from her after, he emptied her bank accounts and her savings accounts and her retirement fund and canceled travel tickets and got the refund, which he took. Again, he needs to go to jail for all the burglary and theft that he did, despite the fact I called the cops and the cops said they could go. There's a video on that too, yes. And he did call the cops, and the dispatcher or officer on duty, or I forget the title of the person he spoke to, was clearly someone who was enamored with him. Oh, douchebag. I'm here looking at your picture. Oh, sure. You can go do whatever you want. Go ahead, break into the house. Oh, never said break in. You're free to enter the house. And he does, because, dispatch said he could, or the officer on duty, or the detective on duty, whatever he called into for getting clarification, which he also then threatened the department on a multiple calls about if, they don't respond, he'll do something more drastic. You threaten the police department over your intent to commit a crime? And, him not supposedly getting the support from the police department for him to commit a crime. Makes sense to somebody, not to me. I mean, if he made phone calls like that, my police department, or a lot of other police departments, if he made phone calls like that, to dispatch, too, not this, whatever. The odds are there'd be a radio car pulling up at his house saying, douchebag, you want to come over here? We've got some bracelets for you. We would like to put on you for, threatening to commit a crime or admitting to committing a crime, which you just did. And we have the evidence on tape just like you do. But no, he walks. I have to look into whether he actually was he honorably discharged from the Marines or dishonorably. I have a funny dishonorably, but who knows? But again, here's Father of the Year right here, Father of the Year, and he wants to take custody of Kelsey's kid, and he's the one who said Kelsey's the one who's doing all the drugs or doing all the drinking. He's fine. She does all the drinking. Well, anyhow, she's got tons of ammo now. So this is going to get dirty. It'll get down and dirty and ugly, especially when it goes to family court, which is always down and dirty. But her upcoming court case, which is the 23rd of this month, so it's only a couple days away, or about a week away. Not even that. Almost about a week away. But anyways, I do hope this gets aired. It's going to be nasty. But her latest hearing, which was just a couple days ago, on her being able to get out of jail, because she's been in jail, in front of a different judge this time. Imagine that, a different judge. Again, look at my previous videos on the encounters with the first judge. Yeah, she fits right in along with the Thatcher. But anyhow, she wins. She won. She gets her freedom. She doesn't have to go back to jail. She can go home. Hopefully she can go home. She can leave, but she still has restrictions, again, probably on a bracelet, and probably has hours which she can't be out beyond, etc. And of course, random alcohol testing, which again comes from Father of the Year here in his accusation in the one letter that he filed for restriction order, an RO. And there's no proof of her drinking. Everything that's come out is from him and his statements and witnesses that are on his favor. I think like his mom probably said, yeah, whatever. Versus, she's got footage of him, Mr. Father of the Year douchebag here, off his ass drunk falling down in the shower, off his ass drunk falling down the stairs in the house. He's got tons of footage of him doing illegal substance, which would be great because what they can do is actually they have a date and time stamp on the video footage. What they really should do is take those timestamps and then compare it to his work schedule and see, did he get off work and he's now toting up whatever he's doing, or is this like the morning before he shows up, or is this the night before he has to show to work and he's puffing? Hopefully they'll think about that. And she says she's got lots of footage, lots of imagery of douchebag being the one who's drunk, and the party which they're referring to, the bachelor party, something like a bachelorette and bachelor party, where he accused her of being too drunk to do anything. Like, well, one is a bachelorette or bachelor party combo, whatever, which you wouldn't want to do in the same. You want those separate as far as possible. And bachelor parties can get out of hand, and there's usually a lot of drinking and weird shit going on. Bachelorette parties are just crazy and insane. All males should run away and keep away from them, except for the one guy who has to follow after them and make sure they all get home and bad things don't happen to them, or when they get kicked out of various bars. He should be the designated driver and watch out for him. I've done that. Anyhow. He says, yes, she had some drinks, but he was the one that was off his rocker. He said she went in to go to sleep, she's tired, etc. And he's the one who's like, party on, dude. So, but again, yay for Kelsey. And this picture is her walking out of the court, and then you look at that smile, look at that face. He gets to go home. Nice, no more jail. And remember when she got out of the hospital or was able to get out of the hospital after 53 days? She went straight to jail. She did go straight to jail. She's like, oh, I'm out. I'm in jail. Why? What happened? So this is her life. She got shot by her ex-partner, cop partner, not romantic ex-partner, because now she's shot and because she was on maternity leave because she had a child, but they still shot the mom of a child. Anyhow, and there's also all kinds of controversy and stories as to where Father of the Year was when this all went down with her getting shot. He's in the basement. He's on the first floor. No, he's outside in the lawn. He's got different stories for where he was all over the place. So, again, his story is inconsistent as hell. And his accusations are all, his accusations are nothing compared to what she has and what she can prove. So, good on you, Kelsey. We're in your court. Again, this is a QR code. That's for donations. You can, click on that. It'll come right up. And, donations to Kelsey's fund for her defense fund. Do it. That's it. That's it for now, anyhow. So, guys, behave. Be nice to each other out there. Don't be douchebag. Don't be douchebag. And Kelsey, have a little better choice in your boyfriend. Okay? I don't know what you saw in him. He probably he's all muscle. He probably has a six pack, being fireman and in control or in shape. Maybe physically in shape, but mentally he's like, where's the drugs, man? We gotta go to a fire, or you really want him? Hopefully he doesn't drive the paramedic vehicle. Hopefully he's the guy in back where he's probably doing lines. Don't know. It's my joke. But anyhow, I'll stop. Behave yourselves out there. Have fun, but behave yourself. Keep an eye on your six. There's all kinds of weird people and all kinds of weird things happening right now. So, kind of avoid large crowds and gatherings for a little while. And, no, I really doubt California is going to be hit by drones from Iran. All that news came from one former military dude. It was probably a slow news day. Everybody ran with it because it sounded good. Oh, California's going to get hit. And he happens to have a drone company and an anti-drone company. So he probably got some idiot to interview him, and he's pointing out, well, I'm military, and look at the coast is wide open, because all of our forces are over there, and we can be hit by a drone. And then all of a sudden he got famous, and his drone company got free ads everywhere. So that's what that was about. I'm pretty sure. I really don't think we're going to get hit by drones from Iran in California. We got shot at by a submarine, the Japanese submarine in World War II, and that's as far as they got, as far as hitting California. Oh, and I think maybe one of those balloon bombs, I think, blew up in California. Or was that in Washington? But anyhow, California hasn't really seen much as far as enemies attacking the shores, so I think we can rest a little easy there. If I'm wrong, oops, sorry, but I don't think so. Plus, hey, don't piss off Bigfoot. Well, he's not down in Southern California. You can go ahead and bomb Southern California. But hey, up here, I'm San Francisco, and you can bomb San Francisco too, even though there's not much of it left. Everyone left. Just like all the big companies in California are leaving, including now Yamaha's leaving. There's no one left no companies left in the state who want to stay here. So, I mean, bombing buildings might just be, might be helpful. They're empty anyhow. But anyways, don't bomb Northern California. You might get Bigfoot mad at you, and that ain't good. So, or Bigfoots. Rambling, having fun. Good on you, Kelsey. May your gods go with you. Behave. Davos.
Sleep, guys.